G'day guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Whitnall, this is ACW Sport, and this past Monday, the first Champions League knockout stage round draws were decided. Obviously, this is the round of 16. The reason I'm only posting this video now is because obviously the previous 2 days I've had to put up my Premier League review and my Premier League predictions. So here are my first initial thoughts on how the draw went. I think for the English sides, most of them are going to be very, very happy. We've got some incredible ties lined up. Obviously, let's start with the English sides. The first one, for me, biggest game for any of the English sides, Chelsea versus Barcelona. These two clubs are arch rivals. As we know, Messi has struggled against Chelsea in the past. We all remember Chelsea's famous win over Barcelona on their run to winning the Champions League. But of course, we also remember Barcelona's famous win over Chelsea on their run to winning the Champions League. So these two teams, when they play each other, whoever comes out on top often tends to go pretty close, or if not win the Champions League. So this could be a very, very big tie for the competition overall. At the moment, I mean, look, I can't really do any predictions right now just because we're still 2 months away from when these fixtures are going to be played. So anything could change from now. But obviously for now, if I'm going by what the form is like right now, I'm going to have to put Barcelona as favourites just because Chelsea are very up and down. But Barca, they're just being like a machine at the moment. Win, 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 win. Messi's on fantastic form. Suarez has come back into form in recent weeks as well. And by then, Barcelona will have Dembele back, which is obviously massive for them. So at the moment, I'm going to have to say Barca are favourites for me in that. But all could change come February. Then on to the next kind of big draw for the English sides. Tottenham have been drawn against Juventus, the Italian giants, last year's Champions League finalists. And after beating the winners, Real Madrid, I don't think Tottenham will fear anyone. And I don't think Tottenham should fear Juventus because Juventus had a very up and down group stage. Yes, they're going well in Serie A as always, but you know, this is the Champions League, and as Tottenham have proven, even though they've struggled in the Premier League in recent weeks, when it comes to the Champions League, they are on the ball. So yeah, I really think Tottenham, at the moment for me, I think Tottenham could edge Juventus. I'm going to throw it out there that we were going on form right now and the way Tottenham have performed in the group stage. But we'll have to see come February when I come back with my proper predictions for each of the games. Manchester United, they were drawn against Sevilla, who gave Liverpool a very tough time in the group stage. As we know, probably the biggest result for Sevilla in that group stage was the fact that they came from 3-0 down to draw against Liverpool at home. Now, this is obviously a tough place to go for any side, but I do think Manchester United will overcome Sevilla. I think Mourinho will have his tactics on point, and United will be pretty happy with that draw. I think both of the other English teams will be happy with their draws as well. Liverpool have been drawn up against Porto, who obviously are a Champions League winner before. But I just think Liverpool will have too much attacking quality for Porto to cause them any real threat because, you know, Porto, they came through what for me was a fairly easy group in the end because Monaco was so poor. Leipzig weren't as good as people were hoping they would be. Obviously, we know Besiktas were phenomenal in that group and very much deserved to be group winners. But yeah, I just think Liverpool have too much power for them. Manchester City, they've been drawn against the team that came runners-up in Manchester United's group, Basel. Yeah, City should walk that really because Basel weren't really too much of a threat to United. I know they beat them away from home, but on another night, United would have been 5-0 up against Basel by the time they scored. But yeah, City will be well happy with that as a draw. For me, though, the biggest game in Europe, full stop, doesn't involve the English sides. It involves Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. What a draw this is. This season's favourites against last season's winners. As of right now, you would have to say that PSG would be favourites going into that game because Real Madrid have had a very poor season so far. But they picked up a massive 5-0 win against Sevilla at the weekend. Ronaldo's back amongst the goals. He's got his confidence back after winning his 5th Ballon d'Or. So who knows? Come February, we'll have to see what both teams are like in terms of form. I imagine PSG will still be winning every game because the Ligue 1 isn't exactly the strongest. We'll have to see if Real Madrid have been able to close that gap on Barca at all. So yeah, I can't wait to predict that come February just to see how that plays out. And then in the other two kind of knockout round fixtures, Bayern, they host Besiktas. That's a really interesting game. The dark horse out of this round is without a doubt Besiktas, and they could cause Bayern Munich some big, big problems. So yeah, we'll have to see how that plans out. I think at the moment, just based on form and the fact Bayern have turned their form around, you would still have to say that Bayern are favourites, but I'm not going to say they're like cemented hands down favourites, because as Besiktas have proven in this year's competition so far, they can do anything on the night. And then Shakhtar versus Roma, again, another tasty tie there. Two very tricky teams, two dark horses for me in this year's competition. As of right now, based on the way they performed in the group stages, I'm going to have to say I would just put Roma as favourites in this, because, Shakhtar, they gave City a good run, but Roma really blitzed the likes of Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. So, that's why I just have them as winners in that tie for me at the moment. But, like I said, all of this comes down to who's in the better form come February for me. I look forward to calling those games when they come around. So, they're just my initial thoughts on the round of 16 knockout draw. Please comment below, let me know, what are your thoughts on the knockout rounds? Have you been happy with who your teams have been drawn against? How do you think your teams will fare? I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Comment below, let me know. As always, I'm Aaron Whitnall. This has been ACW Sport, and I'll see you again next time for my Premier League predictions.